All right, we need to talk about TSB companions. So I've seen a lot going around talking about like, oh, the TSB companions, they're pay to win. Oh, if you spend 800 Robux on the Emerge emote or like 400 on the Brothers emote when that was out, you're paying to win the game. There's nothing you can do when someone else has a companion. That's not true. You need to get better. However, however, one thing I will say is that I feel like a lot of the big YouTubers are overreacting by how simple they are. They're saying, oh, a lot of like I've seen Wellworks. He's talking like, oh, they're not pay to win. That's it. Like no further discussion there. But here's my stance, right? Here's my stance. They're not pay to win. They're pay to advantage. The thing is, you can still be trash and have a companion, If you're not landing any hits, the companion isn't going to be attacking either. However, there's been quite a few moments to where they are so distracting. Like just the fact that you've got a third body walking around in the middle of your fight, it's exactly what they are. They're just a bot that walks around. They don't do any damage or anything. But it's just another head that's like circling in the mosh pit when you're trying to fight somebody, so it's pretty distracting like that. So they're not pay to win, they're pay to advantage. In this clip right here that I'm going to show, I got normal punched back, right? So I got knocked pretty far away from the guy, right? And his companion was all up in my face. And as you can see, I like jump up and start blocking and stuff like that, right? Because it's like, oh my god, what's going on right here? This thing's all up in my face. And it's just the companion. It's not even him. And I'm not saying, oh, I lost the fight because of that. But I'm just saying that is an advantage. The fact, because what I've been calling them on streams is they're decoys. They're not companions, they're decoys. Because even though it's not you, you've just got another person like shuffling around in the pit with you. And that is super distracting, And like, I don't know. I see a lot of people talking about how they're pay to win, and they're not. They're just pay to advantage. And even on the Divine Form emote, I got it. I like it a lot. But even as the person who owns it, who knows it's going to happen, the weave, like the Dragon Ball weave that I do every time I block something, it's still kind of like jarring to see that instead of the block animation. It's helpful, and this is where the pay to advantage comes in, even with this emote, is you get to see exactly when you blocked something. Like on live stream, I was talking about how, Crowdbuster on Monster Garo, it can only hit one person once, Well, it can hit multiple people, if you run through a crowd and there's 3 people, if 2 of them block it, you can still scoop up the other guy. But the thing is, if there's one person, right, and they block it, then you can't hit them like a second time with it, that you're just out of your turn, So it's super helpful with the weave animation, because if I'm holding down block, I don't hear the tiny little poof of a block sound, I actually see him weave out the way when I block it. So now I know, okay, he lost his chance to get me, so I can just beat him up now. I can stop blocking, versus before I had to wait until the whole animation was over, because it's like I have to be like safe, But that's where it's like pay to advantage, because there's been a couple times even on live streams where I'm just getting absolutely folded and I don't even get to see the weave animation of my character because I just keep eating hits, like I'm not blocking well, so I don't get to see the block animation. So right there, it's not pay to win, because it's not like I'm weaving whether I'm getting hit or not, But with the companions, it's just so distracting to have like another person up in your face, like slapping you, And I like how the Emerge emote gives him a sword, since people can't have the big blue sword that he's got, But at the same time, it's still distracting, because it's like waving around a big old glow stick the whole time, it's all up in your face, So that's my piece, right? They're pay to advantage, not pay to win. But last little thought here is my solution. here's what I would do to fix the companions issue, because I do feel like TSB needs to fix the companions and make them what's called client side, to where if you have a companion, only you see it, not other people. You know, they added something to where you can disable companion attacks, but even with that, this is what I meant to mention earlier. The companions can go so far away from their like owners, you know, and that's crazy to me. Like I don't think I have the clip of it, but I remember I got serious punched, you know, so I went flying across the map, right? And as like kind of like in the middle of this like field here, I see my friend walking towards me. I'm like, oh hey, right? And he walks right past me. He's like, what do you mean I don't see you? And it was this guy's decoy just waltzing through the middle of the field, and I'm looking around for the guy like, where's he at? Why is this decoy so far away, right? And this guy, right, and keep in mind, I'm like pretty close to the center of the map, right? Maybe like 2 front dashes away from the center of the map. This guy was all the way against a back wall, you know, a wall of the map, just sitting there healing up, you know, getting his health back. And his decoy was walking, just waltzing around mid-map, just like trotting back to him. And the decoy didn't swing on me or anything like that, you know, I wasn't in any danger. But the thing is, it's like, that's just a player walking around, you know? And it's just like, that's a little jarring to see, you know, just like, why is he just walking around like that, you know? Because I didn't swing on him or anything, but it's just like disorienting, you know? So my solution, right, is just make it to where if you have a companion, only you can see it. They made it to where you can disable companion attacks for you personally, but then you still have the problem of just having this third person just walking around in the middle of the fight who isn't doing anything, you know? So make the companions and like the divine form, ultra instinct, like that, make that to where only you see it, you know? Not other people. Because like the Sukuna slashes when he like when he's punching and it flashes like that, you know, that's fine, you know, like it's just a little flash. It's not like a big fancy thing. But I'll show the clip here. I had the divine form, you know, up, and I was like messing around with this one guy in the server who was like friendly, and I was like, use consecutive punches, right? And the weave on that is so crazy, man. And I'm just saying, like, if you're someone who like doesn't watch TSB videos or anything like that, and you don't know what's going on, maybe you don't even look in the emotes, like, because you're broke like that, you know, you're not breaded like me, you know, like you don't look at the paid emotes, you know, you just go for the free ones, you know. You're just like, why is this guy weaving all my punches when I'm doing consecutive punches, you know? But you don't know that he's actually blocking it, you know. Like I feel like that's kind of crazy, you know. So I mean, I like it, but it's definitely pay to advantage, not pay to win. So yeah, well, that was it. There was like no script for this video, so I just wanted to do a little talking, try to get another JJS style video. But alright guys, thanks for listening to me yap for 8 minutes straight. Subscribe, watch BrutalDemon.mp4. I want y'all to blow that up for me, please. Worked real hard on that. Had a couple people comment on it. I'll show them on screen real quick. They commented, and I really appreciate that, you know. But alright guys, thanks for listening to the rant for a while. I'll see you around. Bye bye.